Welcome to the Legacy Podcast, making our Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs) more famous for action. The global gap in health exists because we think of health as something the doctor gives us. But on the Legacy Podcast, United Nations Mama tells you that health is something we can build together. It is the air we choose not to pollute, the stress we choose not to ignore, and the neighbor we choose to check on. Let today be the day you learn through the Legacy Podcast that global well-being is the sum of your household habits. When you take care of your body and mind, you are preserving the world's most valuable resource. You are not just staying healthy, you are ensuring that a world that is well is a world that we all can finally win. I am your host, United Nations Mama, and I'm so glad you are here today. Today's legacy will be to talk about the third Sustainable Development Goal, the Good Health and Well-being Goal. For you to grab your knowledge, discover your role, and do your action. Your awareness action gap in health is dangerous because you may often treat health as a private matter. But the Good Health and Well-being Sustainable Development Goal prove or seems to prove that health is a public infrastructure. For example, if a virus can travel across the whole world in 24 hours, or if your mental health struggles lower than the gross domestic product of a country or a nation, then health should be everyone's business. Good health and well-being is a journey. It is the air you breathe, the boundaries you set at work, and the way we care for the most vulnerable among us. Today, you will learn that global health starts with self-stewardship. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and you cannot build a sustainable world with a broken workforce. When you prioritize your well-being, you are not being selfish. Come on, hear this today. You are not being selfish. You are maintaining the most important piece of infrastructure. That is you. Health is your primary goal. Health should be your primary capital. If you're a student, a CEO, an artist, your body is the only equipment you can never replace. Good health and well-being sustainable development goal also is not just about hospitals, it's about prevention, protection, and mental resilience. Your health is not a destination, it is the infrastructure of your life. Think of your body and mind as the hardware through which you experience the world. If the hardware is glitching or is not even working well, it doesn't matter how good your software, which can be your education, your career, your ambitions, your passion, your financial goings or works, the system will eventually crash. You will eventually crash. You will not be able to do anything. Sustainable Development Goal 3, that's the SDGs 3, good health and well-being, is the global commitment to ensuring that every human being, you and I, has a system that is resilient, protected, and thriving. That is both our mind, our body is protected, is thriving, and is built up resiliently. That is no backing down. We are not giving up on our bodies, because these our bodies and our mind is literally what we use to position every other thing. In fact, the food we even eat Without the body to even eat it, we will not be able to take those food. Without the mind to even be well thought enough or clear enough, most people can have mental breakdowns that they don't even eat for days. They ignore even the most cherished things that they love, whether it could be based on their habits, could also be based on unforeseen circumstances, or just so many other um, things that could cause that mental breakdown. And they will not be able to eat or go about their activities. That is why your body and your mind is your most important capital, your most important equipment, your hardware. You cannot just replace it. You have to take care of it. You have to protect it, and you have to make it thrive, make it resilient in every situation. When we talk about good health and well-being, we are not just talking about the absence of disease. We are talking about the vitality required to solve the other 16 goals. Your vitality required to go about quality education, to go about even ensuring that you and your generation don't go through poverty, to go about ensuring zero hunger for your family, for your community, or for your nation, to go about ensuring the good work and economic growth, industry innovation and infrastructure, even go about protecting the life that we have on land, that is our animals or the life below water. And so all of these other goals cannot be fulfilled without your good health and well-being. This planet we are in is meant for human beings like you and I, and we are the only people that can protect it. We are even the ones protecting the animals and other creatures on this earth. We are even the ones making the also part of making the non-living things or the equipment or the gadgets or whatever we use in this world. We are manufacturing it all. So if your body is not working, you cannot do anything. The scientists or the technologies that learn all this, they learn it through is in their brain, their mind, that all that knowledge stays. So imagine a mind that is not working or that is not resilient enough. It can literally benefit almost nothing, zero. It cannot gain anything and it cannot give out anything. So by localizing the Sustainable Development Goal 3, which is why the Legacy Podcast is existing, to make you realize that the Sustainable Development Goals are not, although there is global framework, you can localize it. It's something you can do daily and be a better person, both for yourself, for the sake of yourself, your family, and your generations to come, and your nation or even community at large. So by localizing the Sustainable Development Goal 3, you turn the medical policies into your personal power. So today you are going to see the reasons why the good health and well-being goal is not just for the government. You are going to see reasons why it is for you. You are going to hear actions you can take from today onwards that can keep your body thriving, protected, and resilient enough to do and follow every other of your passions. So, like I always teach you on the Legacy Podcast, that for each goal, the United Nations have targets of what the goal is trying to achieve. So for the good health and well-being, I'm going to be breaking down the United Nations targets, or what we call global blueprint, so that you understand what the United Nations actually mean by when they came together to create this goal for your own good and for the good of every other person around the world. Target 3.1 and 3.2 is about maternal and child survival. These targets aiming in reducing the number of women who die during childbirth and ending preventable deaths of children under the age of 5. This is simply meaning that no one should die giving life, and no child should die from a disease we already have a cure for, something like diarrhea or pneumonia. This is more of the safety flaw of civilization. Women are the ones who carry life there. Both the man and woman are in charge of making life, but women are the ones who carry life there. So if they don't survive, or if the child don't survive, there is no life at all that will be brought into the earth. So target 3.1 and 3.2 aims to protect both the mother and the child. Target 3.3 is about the battle against epidemics, for ending the epidemics of AIDS, tuberculosis, malaria, and some neglected tropical diseases. This is about biological security. It is the effort to make sure that a mosquito bite or a cough does not become a death sentence or a global pandemic. Target 3.4 and 3.5 is about lifestyle and mindset shift, reducing premature deaths from non-communicable diseases like diabetes, heart diseases, and promoting mental health. It also covers the prevention of substance abuse. This is meaning that the well-being part of the goal acknowledges your modern lifestyle. Stress, processed food, and addiction can be just as deadly as a virus. It places the mind on the same level as the body. I'm sure today is not the first time you are hearing that most processed food or addiction to drugs causes heart disease, diabetes, diverse organ failures, and stress, and also very much disrupts the mind. So, target 3.6 and 3.9 is about safety and environment. Halving global deaths from road traffic accidents and reducing deaths from hazardous chemicals and pollution. That is, the UN is trying to say that they are aiming to have cut the global death from road traffic accidents, chemicals, and pollutions in half. You cannot be healthy on a sick planet. You cannot say you are healthy when you are every day, instead of you to be breathing fresh air or very clean oxygen, you are breathing as chemicals or pollutants, whether from industries or even from wherever, maybe your neighbor, maybe bush burning every time, or whatever they are doing in your area, which the waste coming out of it is dangerous to your health. So you cannot say you're perfectly healthy when you live in that kind of environment, when you are intaking those air every 24 hours. This target links your health to the air you breathe, the water you drink, and the safety of the streets you walk on. I'm sure people in African nations are most times a victim of bad roads, polluted streets with diverse kind of plastics and dirt. You can literally see a big cup of dirt in the middle of the road, polluting the whole air in the road. It's literally like no one cares. Everyone is still breathing and going well. So But actually, who makes all those debts and all those keeps them up? They are citizens like you and I. And most importantly, the government may not have provided a very big waste disposal system there, whether through equipment or anyhow they want to do it. So citizens are left to throw dirt wherever they want, however they like. And that could be polluting the whole environment, the whole air that someone is breathing in. Moving on, target 3.8 and 3.C is aiming universal coverage and workforce. Achieving universal health coverage (UHC) and increasing health financing and the recruitment of health workforce. This is simply mean that health shouldn't be a debt trap. This target is ensuring that getting sick doesn't mean becoming poor, that there are enough trained nurses and doctors to care for everyone. So, like we always do on the Legacy podcast, we always take a case study for each global goal we are digesting. And for this global goal, good health and well-being, we are going to be taking the case study of the ASHA workers. In India. Source: the United Nations World Health Organization (WHO) records. Now, the ASH workers from India, what was the problem? Rural India faced high maternal mortality because hospitals were too far and former doctors were too few. That is, trained doctors. What was the solution? This particular solution came from the government. The government trained over 1 million ASH workers. The full meaning of ASHA means accredited social health activists. ASHA. These are women from within the local villages, normal women as possible from within the local villages of India. Trained, the government carried them, trained about 1 million of them to provide basic health education, maternal care, and immunization support. What was the result? A massive increase in institutional deliveries. That is meaning that more babies were born in clinics and a drastic drop in infant mortality. Just imagine 1 million people just like you being trained in medical, or let me say you have a passion for fashion, and just 1 million of you were trained to provide that fashion sense or promote it in your nation or your community. Just imagine how innovative and so benefiting that is. Not just for you, but for many others. This 1 million women from India, from rural villages, the government did not go to schools, say let them bring people from other nations and train them in India to help Indians. The government looked at their rural villages, picked up about 1 million women and trained them in basic health education, maternal care, and immunization report. Just imagine if the government of even every nation is doing this with a number as this or more than this in almost every sector, whether fashion, whether finance, whether agriculture. That nation will be transformed, especially if it's a developing nation. That nation will be transformed as quickly as possible. what is the lesson for you today from this case study? You don't always need a multi-million dollar hospital to solve the sustainable development goal 3, that's the good health and well-being. Sometimes you just need community knowledge and localized human infrastructure. This is also what we can call here on the Legacy Podcast the global goals becoming household habits. You that is a private individual, you don't have to wait for the government. You can take as much number of people that you can take. If you see a problem or if you have known a problem for too long in a particular community or your area, you can train people to solve that problem. That is why we say the global goals are not just for government. If you keep on waiting for government, you may just perish. Sorry to use that word, but perish. So you cannot sit down in your home and maybe this is also why this good health and well-being you should localize it, because you cannot sit down in your home taking in or doing all kinds of bad habits concerning your health, whether taking alcohol, smoking, or even skipping your meals and all of these. Then you are blaming the government for your low self-esteem, mental breakdown, and some other causes that those bad habits will bring. Why it was all you just in your room doing all of that. So the good health and well-being goal today, I'm going to be showing you actions you take to keep you alive, healthy, with a high self-esteem, high confidence that you can want to appear anywhere, anytime, and not shame your face or not be circumstantially held back, which maybe it was not your fault at all. And these actions we are going to be looking at today are what anybody can practice, from the student to the CEO to the house worker, just anybody, to the musician to the fashionista, wherever you are, you should be practicing it for your own good. Because if you don't take care of yourself, all those things you are pursuing, you end up not even taking care of them at all. Maybe by the time you are at your curious moment or very critical moment of that your passion, your health will break down. And you see that that's when you start to see that every other thing does not matter, just your health matters. For example, while I was in the university, a particular semester, I was not so concerned about taking care of myself. In fact, malaria came so many times. I kept on hiding it and kept on suppressing it and kept on going about my activities. And guess when that sickness came? That it held me down, that I could not finish. Just exam time, just exam period. That was when it came. And I missed papers. So that's when I understood that health is the most important. Imagine if I just treated it well, like even skipped a few classes when all those were coming and going, and just calmed down, treated it and just forgot about it and moved on with my life. Exam would have gone and I've written my exam, go my way. So your health is very important. Do not let the scale of the world we call global health tell you can localize it. You should localize it, and this is what the Legacy Podcast is teaching you today. Now you are aware, so let's move ahead to your action. Here are ways you should turn the good health and well-being sustainable development goal 3 into your household habits and progressively becoming your professional habit. For the first 24 hours, you should take on the personal stewardship. You can turn off your screen for 1 hour before bed to protect your mental health. You can take out this 1 hour before bed that you have turned off your screens, that is every work on hold, or social media scrolling and scrolling on hold. Take out this time to meditate. Reflect on how your day went, the mistakes you realize, the progress you realize you should be making now, or where you should be at this particular time of your time and of your life, and what you should go ahead to start doing to make that happen. I do this a lot. You may not believe it, but I meditate a lot. Meditation is one of my favorite topics. Personal meditation. I love things through, not overthinking. I know for some moments around the day and I just pause and start overthinking, but I always get myself back because of the kind of personal development I give myself. But you see, meditation, I love it. It makes me reflect back on what I've done, what I can do better, where I am, where I want to actually be, and what are the actions I can take to actually be there. I can just get an insight, immediately I get that insight, write them down, maybe not on a paper, I'm already used to my note apps, put everything down. Then the next day, I'll come back to them. Or later when I make up time, I always come back to them. And those things are always a big deal. They always turn out to be a big deal. So if you learn that habit of meditation every night before you sleep, don't just off your screen off your social media when you're sleeping. When you wake up in the morning again, you don't even go through your prayer life, be Christian or spiritual, like reading your Bible. You just take off your screen. No, it's not good. For your mental health on a normal basis, it's not even good at all. You can also hydrate. Drink water instead of a sugary drink today. Your kidneys will thank you. You can decide to swap your next sugary drink or that sugary drink you're already visioning to go to the store and buy once the day breaks. You can swap it for plain water or just skip it for the next 1 week or even months. Yes, you can do it. Don't wait till your health breaks down before you stop sugary drinks. Honestly, personally, I learned the hard way. I learned the hard way. I love taking sugary drinks, chocolate, call it, name it. See, I actually learned the hard way. I saw that it was not adding anything to me. It was disrupting so much, like I could actually feel myself not being alive, even though I'm alive. So I just decided to take out 1 month and promise myself that I'm not going to buy any of these things. And I saw a huge difference. In fact, I almost saw a huge difference that I fell in love with it. I tried this for another 2 months. And if I should tell you now that for the past 6 to 7 months, I have not bought any carbonated drink or even taking chocolate. They scare me now because I know the difference I saw in my body when I stopped taking those things. So you can do it. You should do it. You can also take out 10 minutes walk or however minutes you want to walk or run. Movement is the cheapest medicine on earth. Don't wait till you have to start paying hospital bill or doctor have to start telling you need to exercise for this sickness or for this thing you're suffering to actually not get hold of you. Then you start hitting the gym or you start looking for personal exercise train in your house. Start doing it now by just 10 or 20 minutes walk per day. If you are something we call household college or people that don't move out of their house at all, you can take out a day for 10 to 20 minutes, walk through your whole house, your corridor, your veranda, and release your blood. Let your blood flow. You can also send a text to one friend, checking to a friend today, asking how are you actually doing, how are they actually doing, how have they been, check up on their mental health, their spiritual health, their physical health. If you are able, also check on their financial health. Or even if you're not able, you can just check in to ask them and know that they are not alone. You understand? You can also take out what we call the 20-20-20 rule. Every 20 minutes, look 20 feet away for 20 seconds to reduce the eye strain, the eye strain you could have gotten from your digital scrolling and scrolling and scrolling up. And you're always looking at your computer, tablets, phones, and so on. You can also spend 3 minutes doing what we call box breathing. Inhale, exhale, hold, inhale, exhale, hold. You can also adjust your chair or monitor to prevent chronic neck disease or neck pain. Maybe pain that could eventually lead to stroke or any other thing related. So, or if you have the finance, you can choose to buy adjustable seats. So you can adjust it at will to keep your backbone or your neck stable. Use adjustable tables by your bed. You can buy these mini tables for bed. You keep your laptop or your phone so that they'll come up to your neck, so you don't have to be bending your neck for the 3 hours you will be on the bed using your phone. You can also start the use of sun shield. Apply SPF. Skin cancer is a preventable non-communicable disease. Apply sunscreen. Use good creams, good trusted brands, and know your skin type, whether you have dry skin, oily skin, and use skincare that is good for it. You can break the stigma. If someone asks how are you, answer honestly. Normalize not being okay. We live in a generation where everybody is okay, but deep down they're not actually okay. So you can normalize answering honestly, no, I'm not okay. This is what is troubling me, and let it go. Instead of holding it all in by yourself. You can take a 5 minutes walk after every meal to aid your glucose level. You can start to look at the sodium or your snacks or drink label and aim for less than 2,300 milligrams per day. Wash your hands properly before eating. The simplest way to stop germs or unwanted pathogens from entering into your system. And then again, your white blood cells will have to come and start fighting them. What if we are not also taking what's good or taking fruits or natural foods that could have helped that your white blood cells and your red blood cells fight those germs or diseases that are about to enter your body? So in every way, taking care of yourself in whether little way or big way is very good and important for you. You can set a timer every day to select some few minutes to take out to roll your shoulders back, stretch yourself, stretch your hands, stretch your legs. If you work in where there is an elevator or staircase, instead of choosing the elevator every time you are going on there, like per day or per week, you can choose to take the staircase sometimes. If you are constant daily on the elevator, you can choose to take the staircase once before that day ends. Fresh air is very important. Always open your windows to clear the indoor congested air so that new fresh ones can come in. Like we have said again, text your friend or a family member specifically to ask about their mental well-being. Also, you can use when you are eating, you can take on the character of portion control. Use a smaller plate to avoid the overfull sluggishness. When you're overfull, you carry yourself. Before you know it, you're on the bed. Before you know it, you're on your phone. Before you know it, you have slept on. Before you know it, the day has ended. Before you know it, you not achieve anything. No passion, nothing, no progress. And you wonder where your low self-confidence comes from. This is all part of what causes low self-confidence esteem, because you're not pouring into yourself in a very good way that could replenish your energy. Me, I love doing things I'm passionate about because I discover that it gives me more energy. When I do something I love, when I check on a post or a article that I love, or when I someone like me, I'm interested in diary progression, leadership. When I think of new ideas around it, it gives me so much joy and it makes me sit up all day writing down where I can gain where I can gain more knowledge, where I can go, how to get that opportunity, and so on. It's in all this personal development I'm thinking that something like the legacy podcast came in. Something like advocating for sustained development goals so passionately like this going because I saw a problem. People are not practicing it. Most of the time, even what the big achievements the government or the United Nations is making is not even heard by the common man. So I said I will take it upon myself to make sure that the global goal is known in every household, and for you to know that it's not just a goal for the government. Because another problem I also discovered that people that know about it think, oh, sustainable development goal, it's not for government. Why have they not achieved it since 2015? In fact, the comment I got the first time I posted the legacy podcast, someone was arguing with me. Like to my WhatsApp contacts, the person on the group was arguing that it's almost 2030 is almost reaching and the government United these goals will just go like the way the former goals were. I think the millennium person even knew about the millennium development goals before the ones before the SDGs came in. I said 2030 will soon arrive and nothing will be achieved. And I was telling the person that you are thinking like this because you think the goal is not also for you. This goal has not been achieved because the normal person thinks it's not for him or her, but the normal person does not know about it at all. And that is the problem the legacy protest is there to solve for you. And there was reactions to that comment I made to the person. The person agreed, he also agreed to it immediately when I was done with my explanation. The goals are not being achieved because you have not personalized it. So, moving on with the good health and well-being goal and how you can make changes to yourself for the good of your health, even for the next 24 hours. As you are going out, if you have a car, machine, wear your seat belt or your helmet, even for a short distance. Try to eat a piece of fruit per day instead of a processed candy or chocolate bar. Like I said, I was the kind that loved processed chocolates or biscuits over fruits or food. Like you can't compare the love I have for those small sugary things over food. But now I cannot. I would prefer to eat one slice of pineapple over a chocolate candy because I know where it's going in my system and the kind of benefits it's going to give me. So you should also take on that habit. Eat fruits, choose fruits over and over again. Go for natural over and over again. Stop caffeine intake. most of the time to protect your sleep cycle. Practice self-compassion. Forgive yourself for one mistake you have made in the time past and learn from it. Don't hold yourself back mentally based on mistakes you have made, errors you have made, things that did not go well, blaming yourself. See, self-blame does no good. Instead of you to blame yourself, just take up the lesson. Give yourself 1 to 2 weeks or even 1 month. Say, I'm going to practice this lesson. I'm going to practice this self-compassion, and I'm going to be a better person for the sake of myself first. You see how your life will change. If I said anything that will make you want to put you into depression or make you have low self-esteem, you'll be minimizing it, you'll be running away from it. Always raise your phone to your eye level instead of looking down. Do 2 minutes of leg stretches to improve circulation. Organize your if you're on drugs or medications, organize your prescriptions so you never miss a dose. Carry a reusable water bottle and aim to drink it and refill at least 3 times a day. There was a time I stepped for me this habit intentionally because I noticed that I was not taking enough water. Instead of drinking the normal pure water I would drink it, I started taking on canned water. And I discovered I was not drinking the canned water fast. I don't know the magic. But I was taking the canned water faster than when I would take a pure water, and I'm like, I don't want to take it. The canned water was more satisfying for me. Although it was the pure water that I poured inside the canned water, but the fact that I was drinking from the can was I don't know, it helped my drinking. Let me just say it like that. And also laughter. Learn to laugh. Practice laughter. Watch a short comedy clip. Laughter clinically reduces stress hormones. It has been proven. See, laughter laughter can make you forget your sorrows and your worries and everything you're bothered about. But one thing you should not do yourself is after that laughter, you go ahead back to that thing that is worrying. Instead of you to go ahead back, laugh as much as you want. Why gathering momentum, gathering energy, gathering freedom to go ahead and do one good thing about your life or about your passion? You're going to thank yourself for it. There are sometimes even following my passions feels so overwhelming that I want to just watch a movie for some time. Like take out one mood this month. I'm going to try to watch movies or watch what is going to make me go away from that world a little bit and just relieve myself of all the sweetness I'm feeling inside. So it has worked so well for me. So practice laughter, practice self-compassion. These things are things that more let me say the pursuit of your money, because money is what is even driving most people these days, may not be able to get for you easily. If you lose your self-compassion, no matter the money you have, you may end up using that money to harm others. If you lose your smiles, your genuineness, no matter the kind of wealth you attain or height you reach, if you don't get it back, you are going to want even every other person around you sad. And how do people get sad? By experiencing situations that are not favorable to them. So if you're tempted to make others experience, like get that experience so they don't have to be happy. This is how bad people are formed. No other way. So choose to be that good person that no matter the height you reach, no matter where you are, the kind of money you have, you still have your self-compassion or be able to help other people, especially from the maybe you came from the low life, you help those people in those low life. Practice laughter so that every other person around you be smiling and laughing and be praising you, and also just feel so good to know you, to get to know you. For the next 30 days, these are habits, household habits concerning your good health and well-being that you should practice. You can decide to um, learn first aid kits or stock or get a first aid kit at home for the sake of yourself or the sake of your children. First aid is always important. Get a first aid kit so that you don't have to be running helter-skelter over a small household injury or accident. Like you use that word accident, but you can add learn CPR course, sign up for a basic life support or first aid certification. You can choose to do blood donation, find your local centers, book an appointment, and donate some blood if you have more than enough. I don't mean that you have not even checked whether you are lacking blood or you're full of blood and you're donating blood. No, check first. If you have enough to donate, you can do yourself a favor to donate. Check if you should boost. Then do yourself to take foods that will boost your blood for more. You can dedicate some days or any days you want to, or a Sunday or Saturday, or in fact something you should do every day, but you can dedicate some days if you are too used to fast food. You can dedicate some days to prepare healthy lunches or food for yourself. Avoid fast food totally or processed food. Not every time you're ordering. Try to take out a month, 2 months. You see how different your stomach feels, your body feels, or you feel. Don't conclude on cooking when you have not tried at all. Home-based food. You might try it so well and you never want to let go of it again. You can also replace heavy chemical household cleaners with natural ones. Use natural plate water. Like, how will I say this now? Like, for example, in the school area where I stay, there are some persons that will come knocking at your door saying these are natural washers. You see that they are locally made. You can try to replace those heavy chemical ones you have with those natural ones, or ones produced with less chemical toxicity. You can also add air purifying plants to your home to purify the air in your home. I think I've heard of something like snake plants. Snake plants as example of that. Your sleep routine, you can decide to stick to a consistent wake up or sleep time for the next 30 days straight. Your sleep routine don't have to be irregular. You can say by this time of the day I am sleeping, by this time of the day I am awake doing what I'm supposed to do. You should practice active socializing. Suggest a walking meeting or a hike instead of going to go and drink or going to clubs or bars with your friends. You can suggest natural possible activities to make everyone laugh, exercise, improve mental health, blood circulation, and so many other benefits. Create bonds that makes you happy. You can try for 7 days without adding um using intake of sugars or adding extra sugars to your meals or whatever you are taking, or excess sugars. Filter your water. Invest. If you have the money or the finance, try to invest in a high quality water filter to reduce micro pollutants. You can also go for one consistent brand in your pure water on your car water that is known for their cleanliness. Work boundaries. Practice leaving work at work. No emails after 7 p.m., no texting any work person after 7 p.m. You are done is that you are done. Take a time to relieve your mental health, rethink, replan, and set for the other day. Eat. It's not after when it has passed your time for work, you're still stressing yourself. If you stress yourself so badly and you end up being critically ill, you'll be replaced at work. Hope you know that. And I'm so good, I'm learning some more. And I'm so happy I'm learning some of these things at this age or time in my life, because I don't think I want to work myself out, exhaust my mental health, my passions out, when I should be taking it so much easier on myself. And these days, almost everybody is replaceable at all, because new people are learning, gaining that same experience you have. So try to take care of yourself for the sake of yourself, for the sake of the children and the family you want to have, and for the sake of others that love you. So they don't have to cry their eyes out or run helter skelter over your medical breakdown. You can also commit to flossing your teeth every single night. After everything you have ate for the day, floss your teeth with a flosser. Book that eye test you have been postponing, that organ checks you have been postponing, just whatever that concerns your body, that x-ray you have been postponing. If you have the money, just book yourself for all this head to toe checkup and make sure that your system is performing fine. You can buy produce from a local farmer. Like I said, natural is the goal, or should be your goal most times. Health screening, schedule your annual health physical screening or a specific screening of the organ reproductive system, and for men maybe for prostate check and so on. Download a mental health app or use a meditation app for at least 20 minutes per day, or however minutes you can contain or you want to practice. Spend 15 minutes a day, your quiet time, as your quiet time, or even more. Quiet time, you're not doing nothing, you're not even thinking, you're not even sleeping, you're just between the two walls, just total silence. It's very good. Learn symptoms, research the warning signs of stroke or heart attack or some other disease so that you could avoid them. Smoke free, be smoke free. If you smoke, you can also try to learn to attempt a 24-hour quit throughout the day and not quit, or you educate someone smoking on the dangers of it. It's not a must that when you're not doing most of, like when you're perfecting some of this attitude, that you should keep it all to yourself. You can educate someone, they will come to thank you later that oh, they were able to stop this habit because of the education you gave them and the help you helped them. You can also spend some of your days a week or just once a week helping out at a local Ghana, local kitchen, local at a hospital, or just where your passion is related. Just go there, help out for free. You don't have to worry about pay. Just help out for free to just boost your eagerness for more in that field, or to just be human. Offer 2 hours to a local or some hours to a local hospital, like we have said, or elder care facility. I know abroad there are lots of elder caring services, but in Nigeria, yeah, I don't think so. So But yeah, in your nation, anything that seems good to you as a volunteer work, please, you can do that, whether online, offline. Join a local running group, or you and your friends to create one where you guys run, do yoga, or just dance, or ballet, is it ballet that they call it, just for fun. Book an introductory session with a counselor, meaning go through therapy if you want to, if you have to, if you have been struggling. In African nations, therapy is not common, but in other international countries, it's so common. So from wherever you are, either book or follow someone in that line online, or pay a little. If it's free, fine. If it's not free, or another thing that could help you be a therapy to you is knowing Jesus, reading your Bible. Yes, because that's my own therapy also. So I'll recommend that to you. Your choice, though. Reduce meat, transition to some meatless days to lower the risk of heart disease, red meat, and so on. Ensure all your household medicines are locked away from children. Keep out of the reach of children. And wear earplugs in loud environments to prevent hearing loss. Yes, practice it. These habits are habits you can choose to start practicing today, tomorrow, next tomorrow, for the next 1 week, next 7 days. Before you know it is already 1 month. Before you know it is already 2 months. Before you know it becomes a normal habit. In fact, your professional habit you cannot let go. You can even find yourself turning yourself into a counselor for it, wanting to educate other people around the world. These are how habits are formed. These are how sometimes even uncertified counselors or motivational speakers are formed, because they have learned to motivate themselves first. They found out how good it is. They now want to educate others before they even go for the normal licenses. For changes that could be systematic, or let me say more complex, that you can take on is, for example, institutional advocacy. Ask your HR, vice chancellor, head of department, or leader to include better mental health coverage. See, the best performing teams of students are highly motivated. They go through workshops or sessions that educate them even outside of their work sometimes, or a greater perspective of their work. So their motivation increases, their their mentality towards the work boosts. You can also support policies for low emission zones in your cities. You can dive into agri-tech support, invest in companies that reduce chemical pesticide use, agricultural companies or technology companies. Fashion choice, you can choose to buy clothes from brands that have a very good discharge chemical policies. This may sound so weird, outrageous, but you can choose to be an organ donor, register as an organ donor. You should the problem of organ trafficking in the world happens because there are not voluntary donors. So bad people take advantage of good people or clueless people to do those evil. So not asking you to do this, but if you can. It's not the world is not for everybody. This particular world. Mentorship. Teach a young person or someone older than you or younger than you exactly what you are doing or how to cook healthy meals from scratch. Financial support. Set up a small monthly donation to an organization fighting malaria or cancer, tuberculosis, and the likes, or even helping old women or young um, boys and girls, whether through school education or through courses, online courses that could elevate their passion and dreams. You can start to email your representative or someone you know representing your community about acquiring public health funding. Start speaking on behalf of your community, on behalf of your nation. Yes, that you guys deserve better, whether to the government that you're speaking on or whether to international um, organizations like the United Nations for help based on a sustainable development goal, that this is how you want to make your community or nation better with their support. And this is one of the things the Legacy Podcast is. This is one of our vision, connecting your local action to global funding. And I'm sure we will still get there. Plant trees, fruit trees in your community to provide free nutrition. End the stigma. Be vocal about your health journey to also inspire others. If you have started changing, if you have started noticing change that's so good for you through these good habits you are going to start practicing from today, mentally, emotionally, body wise, physically, or spiritually, start telling those changes, discussing, like be vocal about those changes to others so that it could inspire them to know that they are not alone and they are actually solutions to those problems they see as impossible to solve, or they see that they are in it alone. When you go together, when a problem is solved together, is is almost 100% solved. You can choose if your CEO ensure your supply chain doesn't make use of child labor, whatever company you are held in or you are heading, make sure that they don't do illegal things like child labor. Or there's this word also for it. Is it exploiting? So not just child labor and the likes of it. Also, you can choose to participate in a safe clinical trial or health study, um, medical research, or whatever field you are in. Start to, if that is your passion, or you love discovering new things, you can go into the research field. Guys, you're not just a field person, you also want to be a researcher. Please follow that passion. You're on the right track. For not just for your own good, but for the good of others through whatever you are going to discover, whether on a global scale, on a regional scale, on a local scale. You can support initiatives that provide vaccines, whether to children or to cure a particular disease, your nation and your community. You can start to properly dispose to prevent poisoning, whether air pollution or even water pollution or even food poisoning. That is, learn to dispose your waste properly. Yes, because anywhere you are putting it that is not done proper is going into another thing that would have been beneficial for life and spoiling that thing so that it will no longer be as useful as it was meant to be. You can implement a mental health day policy in your business, your company, your workplace, where everybody gets a mental health education or practical workshop and so on. You can also sponsor a nutrition program in your local school to provide the whole nutritional package for those students. Protein, carbohydrates, fats and oil. Just on interval, if you don't have time or the money, I mean to say the finance to go all in. And you can also provide them with a daily guide of the food they can take so that they will be on the right track concerning their body health. You can support global projects that build wells or sanitation systems or that helps mentally disabled people or other projects that are just related to the good health and well-being of others, whether through vaccine programs, whether through providing the latest medical technology and equipment in the hospital, whether through more um, important drugs being imported in that your community or your nation. Please support those programs, or you can be the one championing one yourself, but not be the government. Private individuals. Imagine when we have about 3 million financially stable private individual practicing even one of these support on a regional scale. No one will be left behind in that nation. So if a private individual hear me right now, please endeavor that you pick out one way to ensure good health and well-being to another person or to many others and start doing it right away. Helping also helping others also helps you mentally, emotionally. In my religion, Christianity, the Bible I read says Jesus says it is more blessed to give than to receive. The kind of freedom or feeling or satisfaction you get when you practice the act of giving is is cannot is is out of this world. You can also volunteer for a health mission or a global NGO like the United Nations volunteer programs. Choose to volunteer in vulnerable communities or unprivileged communities, or just put on your skills or expertise for free for once. Everything must not be about money. Try to boost your emotional health, your mental health by helping others, knowing that you are not going to get anything in return, so to say, just your personal development and your personal satisfaction, your personal joy. You can also train your put your entire family on a health disaster plan or insurance to cover for any future unforeseen circumstance. Insurance is a very good way to also secure your future, because you may never know what will happen. Don't so much depend on businesses or the money you are making. Abroad or international, insurance is so popular. I don't know why in Nigeria here people don't really take it so serious, but I wish they would start to. If you are hearing me here right now, you are from an African nation, or I think the problem should be about the trust and reliability of those companies. That's why most people. No, I don't really know. I'm not in the line, so I can't say. So me personally, if you ask me why am I not on insurance, I'll take because I don't have finance yet. That's just my own personal reason. But if I have, why not? think I can go for that. So, whatever be your reason, make sure that one way or the other, you are actively protecting your your body and your mind to ensure that you are in good health and well-being, and also that you're also making it possible for others that may not be privileged to have that or even have the knowledge itself. This is one of the reasons why the Legacy Podcast is here for you today, to open you up to this knowledge so that you not just think that it's something that, oh, you just scroll online and you see a video telling you, oh, do this, and you think it's a joke. No, it's a very serious case. That's why United Nations Norma takes out her time to explain this goal to you and show you actions you should take from today onwards, letting you know how important it is. In fact, I'm sure that right now you're starting to think that these are these are things that make up a good life itself. Without your health, you can't even spend the money you are running around. Without your health, you can't fulfill your passions and your dreams. Without your health, you cannot even help that family member you're carrying on their head, on your head, to go about that business and be a better person. So take care of yourself first. When you take care of yourself first, you can take care of others, whether on a small scale or on a large scale. So share this legacy today with someone. This particular episode of good health and well-being with another person today, so that they can commit to a lifestyle where health is the foundation of any impact they want to make. First of all, start with you. Start with yourself. Start these changes now. That impact they want to make, that life they want to live, tell them it cannot be possible without their good health and well-being, whether spiritually, physically, academically, financially, maritally, materially, no matter the impact they or the level they want to reach in all this, they cannot attain it without a good health. So your awareness action gap closes the moment you stop seeing health as something you fix and start seeing it as something you cultivate. You should go ahead from today onwards to cultivate or groom these good habits or actions every day. Sustaining Development Goal 3, good health and well-being, is the heartbeat of every other goal, also the heartbeat of the 2030 agenda. Without a healthy world, you can without a healthy world, you cannot have a wealthy life, and we cannot even have a wealthy world or a smart world or a peaceful world. At the Legacy Podcast, United Nations Mama makes you realize that your vitality is not just for you, it is for the contribution you were meant to make. Because when you thrive, the world thrives with you. You have your knowledge now, you know your role. Now go out and do your action. Stay connected to the Legacy Podcast TLP. Also to mention that the Legacy Podcast is now available on YouTube.